Over the last 2 decades, a number of schools have begun to offer non-language specific curricular subjects such as science, music, physical education, etc. through a foreign or a second language. This type of immersive teaching has existed for relatively longer periods of time in contexts such as Canada or the United States. In Europe, however, there are certain characteristics within this form of bilingual teaching and learning, which in this context at least generally falls under the umbrella term of Content and Language Integrated Learning, also known as CLIL. Now, there are several reasons as to why an educational administration might wish to implement CLIL within the school system. An obvious reason is that of helping students to develop their communicative competence in another language in order to be able to more fully participate in a diverse range of social, personal, academic and professional activities at an international level. Studying in another language also has the potential to enhance learners' cultural awareness and expression and develop subject-related competences through more innovative teaching and learning approaches. While these objectives seem reasonable and would appear to be beneficial for learners, it's important to know that the effects of bilingual education inevitably vary from country to country and from one individual school to another. This variability depends on a large number of factors, including student age, available resources, teacher proficiency in the foreign language, and even their familiarity with CLIL methodological principles, among other factors. Over time, a number of studies have indicated that CLIL training has clear benefits in L2 proficiency, without having a significantly negative effect on communicative competence in the mother tongue. However, at early stages of education, learners may face more challenges in terms of academic performance and in relation to affective considerations such as motivation or intellectual helplessness. These are realities which need to be taken into account, particularly when dealing with younger students. In terms of CLIL methodology, there are a series of common principles and practices which are often integrated into teaching programs. One major concept is that of the 4 C's: content, communication, cognition, and culture. The first of these areas, content, refers to the curricular contents from the specific subjects in question. And essentially, the subject matter is the same for CLIL as it is for non-CLIL classes. Here, the teaching and learning process is intended to provide learners with key competences and core values, which are required for the understanding and completion of a wide variety of subject-related tasks, which are potentially transferable to real-life scenarios. Another major component is that of communication. And here, it's necessary to take into account the different opportunities and challenges that may arise when dealing with content matter in the foreign language. Essentially, this means that subject teachers need to provide adequate support to ensure that learners are able to understand, interact, produce, and mediate in subject-related scenarios through the medium of the foreign language. Now, when we're dealing with these contents in the foreign language, learners are also expected to engage with tasks and activities which challenge them cognitively. Now, while lower order thinking skills such as memory and understanding are obviously important and they have a role to play in learning, there's also a definite need for students to engage in higher order thinking skills such as analysis, evaluation, and other creative activities. The CLIL approach also places importance on cultural elements. This focus essentially entails making the most of the unique situation in which students are learning contents through another language in order to help them become aware of, understand, and express a variety of cultural realities. It's important perhaps to note here that this component does not relate exclusively to the target culture. Indeed, part of the process involves appreciation and expression of one's own cultural identity. And this is particularly important when working in a language that is different from one's mother tongue. In addition to these considerations, of course, CLIL also highlights the need for other general principles that are common to education systems worldwide. Scaffolding, meaningful and authentic task-based learning, strategy development, and learner autonomy are just some of the important considerations which need to be incorporated into the learning contexts. These principles, however, often take on nuances when dealing with content subjects and also have to integrate principles, commonly associated with language teaching and learning, such as the need for comprehensible input, comprehensible output, negotiation of meaning, and diverse encounters with the language of the subject area through a variety of formats. CLIL then is a complex methodological approach, which in many contexts has led to innovative teaching practices. Obviously, there are challenges involved, particularly at the early stages of learning. It would seem, however, that when sound pedagogical and methodological practices are in place, there are several potential benefits for learners, which include the study of contents through more modern and innovative approaches, expanded levels of communicative competence in the foreign language, high levels of cognitive engagement, and unique opportunities to engage with cultural dimensions, both in terms of the home and the target cultures.